Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, back for video number 53. And I'm still on retreat high as I just came back Sunday. So this was a retreat and it was called, oops, let me see if I can straighten that out. CrossStitch Extravaganza 2021. It was put on by Quilter Station in Kansas City. Anyway, I'm just like, because I want to tell you so much. So I will try to insert some pictures or have my husband do it at the end, or maybe they've already been at the beginning. I don't know how he chooses to do it because I took a lot of pictures and I'm just going to end up doing it like a collage. Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, back for video number 53. And I'm still on retreat high as I just came back Sunday on my birthday. Thank you for all the wonderful birthday wishes in the comments. Hopefully I was able to put a heart to show you that I read all your comments. There were so many wonderful comments that I was overwhelmed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm a year older and a year wiser. Is that what they say? The older you get, the wiser you are. I have lots of stuff sitting around me. So I want to talk about the retreat. I want to talk about what I've been stitching, what I want to stitch, and some stuff that I got in the mail and while I was on my trip. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Lisa Prims on Greenway, who put up an excellent video. Her pictures were great. She was sitting a little closer in the retreat room than I was. She got some wonderful pictures. Go to Prims on Greenway. Try to link it below. Her most recent floss tube, she talks about this retreat. So anyway, I don't want to jump ahead of myself because I have so much to say that I might get a little scattered. So what's new? Okay, I left a week ago Thursday, flew to Kansas City. This was originally supposed to be my life tour. We postponed it. My husband's been down a little bit in the back. We didn't think traveling in a car would be wise, and so we decided to postpone it. So hopefully by next spring. So anyway, I don't want to travel in the winter driving. So this was a retreat, and it was called, oops, let me see if I can straighten that out. CrossStitch Extravaganza 2021. It was put on by Quilter Station in Kansas City. It's actually in Lee's Summit, which is a suburb. Quilter Station, www.quilterstation.com. She is going to have more retreats, and she has had retreats in the past. This was the first one I've ever gone to. I know she's had a lot of quilting retreats. Say that fast. Some of them have been called Stitching with the Stars, Quilting with the Stars, and she's had a combination of stitching and quilting. So anyway, I'm just like, because I wanted to tell you so much. It was wonderful. I flew in on Thursday, met up with some people at Quilter Station. Some people I've met before, like Tammy, who is Basket Nut on Instagram. I've met her before. First at the airport in Denver, because I flew from Jacksonville to Denver and then back to Kansas City. Don't ask me why. I just go with whatever. Get on the plane, go where they take me. Hopefully I'll end up in the right place. Anyway, as we're lining up, because I usually fly Southwest, and you can choose your own seat, but you do have an assigned order which they line you up to go into or to get onto the plane. I see Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery. Well, I didn't want to embarrass her or myself by yelling, "Hey Beth, I'm behind you." So when I first walked on the plane, she was about, I don't know, 6 or 8 rows back, and I caught her eye and just smiled and said, "Are you going to be stitching on the flight?" And she said, "Absolutely." So anyway, then once I got to the Kansas City airport, who was she meeting up with but Liz Matthews? So I will try to insert some pictures or have my husband do it at the end, or maybe they've already been at the beginning. I don't know how he chooses to do it, because I took a lot of pictures and I'm just going to end up doing it like a collage. So we took our picture together at the airport, Beth, Liz Matthews, and me. It was just so exciting. Anyway, so I got to Quilter Station, met up with some friends. I got to meet Julie Kersave, who is the administrator of a couple different Facebook groups. I'd never met her before, but we had communicated via text and direct message. Just so many people. Tanya, Blackberry Primitives Wool, who does the Maggie Banana Me kits. I know I'm going to forget somebody, but there were lots of people there. Pam and Steph were there. I said to Pam, seeing all this fabric, doesn't it make you want to start quilting? And she said, no. Cracked me up. Anyway, Quilter Station used to be kind of mostly 90% quilting. In the last few years, they've started adding cross stitch. They had a really good selection of linens. They had a lot of charts, and they're going to be expanding that. They had wool. Most of the people that had never been there before were overwhelmed. They were like, oh my goodness, this is just overwhelming. Even my friend Tammy, who quilts all the time, Basket Nut, I mentioned her, she was like, I didn't know where to start. And that's how most people were the first time they walked in. They have so many bolts of fabric. They have so many models. It's incredible. So anyway, and then we stayed at the Drury Inn. That's where everything was all within the same location. That's where the retreat was. That's where we stayed. They did breakfast and they do dinner. So Thursday night, we just ate at the hotel. It was great. And technically, if you went to this retreat, because the retreat was included lunch, you could stay at the hotel and never go anywhere. Of course, you'd want to go to all the shops around, but anyway. Quilter Station is owned by Rita Briner, and she does a lot of her own, I'll show you that in a minute, a lot of her own patterns. And so there's lots and lots and lots to see. So anyway, that was the only time I went to Quilter Station. There was another time on Saturday. A lot of people were going, and I opted to stay at the retreat. And I've been there many times. I don't need fabric. I did buy a few things. So let me show you a few things. Well, let's see. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to wait and show you what I bought till I get to haul. So, anyway, when we first got to the retreat on Friday morning, it was Friday, Saturday retreat. We first got there. We got these wonderful canvas totes. They're really, really nice. And inside, there was this little needle minder or needle thingy. You know, it's a corner gauge. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a corner gauge. And it says CrossStitch Extravaganza 2021 with a piece of wool and a needle. So that was inside there. And then there was this nice little pouch was inside there, along with our name tag and lots of candy and goodies that were in there. Salty and sweet. People ask me if I'm salty or sweet. I say yes. Anyway, so I'm going to get a little bit more to our projects and what we did at the retreat, but let me first show you my finish. So I'm going to do stitching, then I'm going to do retreat, and then I'm going to do gifts and haul. Does that make sense? Now that I've already talked about the retreat, I'm going to jump around. And then I will have a little bit of quilts at the end, some things I want to make, and some quilts that I have never shown you. I don't think I have. So anyway, I did have a finish. I posted on Instagram. I finished 7 sheep this week. 7 sheep sampler. This is by the Scarlet House. Not sure when this came out. 2014. I know you can still get it at the Attic. These are the threads, which are the called for. The only thing I would recommend if you're going to do this and use the called for, you may want to get a second skein of Italian Gold by Gloriana, because this is all I had left. Now, there were a few things I frogged, so it very well could be that you'd have more left. Italian Gold by Gloriana. And I came really close to using all of this one, which is Dinky Dyes, just a second, Dinky Dyes Kimberly. So, without further ado, Here is my finished piece. I'm going to show you it in halves because it's hard to get it all in the camera. Has pink, green, yellow, or that gold, some browns and a little bit of black. So that is the top half. I mentioned this quite a bit about this on my last one, so if you really want to know what the verse and all that says, go back to my last video. This video is 53, the one before it obviously is 52. I had a couple of people ask me what color the white in the comments last time. One of them is Dinky Dye Cottlesloe, C-O-T-T-E-S-L-O-E, Cottlesloe. And the other one is Vanilla by Gloriana. So that's a finish. And that is one that I have so many things I need to have framed. But I think I'm gonna send that to Total Framing. I think I am. So then, I mentioned these books last time. I actually thought Primitive Stitcher Suzette might be at the retreat. I miss seeing you. I know school just started, so you probably weren't able to come. But anyway, so I put it in my book. These are by Primitive Stitcher. She sells them on Facebook. I had people ask me. She sells them on Facebook. So, go to Primitive Stitcher on Facebook. If she has any available, she will post them. And when she posts them, they go fast. So, FYI. Okay, so last night, let's see, I finished a 7 sheep. Today's Saturday, by the way. Saturday, September 18th. This probably won't be uploaded till tomorrow, so by the time you see it, it'll be Sunday or Monday. Anyway, so last night I was like, okay, I want to still work on a sampler, but I want to go to one that's almost finished. And this is where I am. And I know there's 2 needles in here, so just chill. I've shown this before. This is by Carriage House Samplings. It's called A Mind Independent and Free. I'll show you the pattern in just a minute. It has the large alphabet, the Bargello or whatever. It says, no glory I covet, no riches I want. Ambition and beauty are nothing to me. Piece of thread. The one thing I beg of good heaven to grant is a mind independent and free. Oh, and then down there it says, Mary Beth Marsh is my name. I think this is a reproduction, but I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, it has the tree, those little birds, the verse, and then the alphabets go all along the side. So one starts with A, goes all the way to Z. The other one starts at the bottom and goes A all the way up to Z. So this is all I have to finish. Let me show you. Within those rows of flowers right here, inside there is some more of the yellow. So I have 3 rows of flowers. Here's one that I'm working on. Let's see here. I stopped mid-stitch last night. I stayed up till 2 o'clock. What is wrong with me? So obviously this morning at 9, I was like, ugh. Although that is 7 hours sleep. I should be able to handle 7 hours sleep. You know, they say when people get old, they go to bed early. You know, they eat dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They go to bed by 7. I'm going the complete opposite. I want to eat dinner later so I don't get hungry at 11 o'clock at night. And then I stay up. Normally I'm up till 1 or 1:30. Last night I just kept stitching. I looked at the clock. It was like 5 to 2. I'm like, I think I need to go to bed. I want to do a video tomorrow. Anyway. So I have to fill in the middle of those flowers. And then on the very bottom is one more row. And then there's some birds on this tree, like these. So I will finish this tonight. I had hoped to have it done before my video, but I wasn't gonna stay up till 4 for you. Sorry. So anyway, that'll be my next finish. And then I didn't bring it out, but I'll be working on Mary Good by Sassafras Samplers. And I'm hoping to have that finished this month in September. So that would be 3 finishes this month. Not 3 starts, 3 finishes. I'm trying to not do any new starts. In October, I'm going to work on 2 things, and I didn't bring them out. Shoot. One is Reverend Squash Bottom. Yvette Gonzalez on Instagram. She's Yvette Geo. She just finished hers. I was like enamored with the way she did it and the color of the linen and all of that good stuff. So I want to start that in October. And then Lori Rippey, which is Homespun Prims by Lori. And I would show it to you, but it's on my phone and I'm recording on my phone. Anyway, she did go to Homespun Prims by Lori, Lori. And I'll try to link that also on below. She just came out with a brand new PDF that you can download and start this afternoon. And it is called Harvest I Grow. So I also want to do that. I have the fabric picked out, but I haven't pulled the DMC for that. And I think it's not just DMC. I think there's some overdyed too. So anyway, Amana, that's my next retreat. I'll tell you about that in a minute, if I don't forget. I'm old now. Okay, so that is what I have been stitching, and that is what I will try to continue to work on. Okay, I don't know even where to begin. I think I'm going to start with, keep going on the retreat. So Friday morning, our first designer was Liz Matthews from, you know, some of these extra things, I think I got them in the right place. I'm hoping. You know, you're at a retreat and you're just like putting things everywhere. Well, first of all, she gave us this wonderful chart. This she named the Pink Cottage School. And it has the butterflies, it has these beautiful birds, the flowers, the basket of flowers, beautiful border. To me, it looks very fall with those colors. It calls for either NPI or DMC. This is the original antique, and then she also revised it if you don't want to do all that over one. So I believe she said both charts are available in here. So she named this the Pink Cottage School. I don't think it's, oh yeah, it does. Pink Cottage School. So this is Hello from Liz Matthews. It won't be coming out for a while. That's how most retreat pieces are. So then the secondary part of that project, I was just like blown away. This is so creative, so creative. And like I said, if you go to Lisa Prims on Greenway, she does a great job. She's already finished this. There's always one in the bunch that's an overachiever. Okay, so this was the second part of the project. She took the antique and took a picture of it. And this is how you can finish. I'm going to show you in just a second. So she took a picture of the antique and had it printed on fabric. Now this isn't linen, this is just like a cotton fabric. So you can see there's a fold line where it was in the packet. So this is the bottom half, and this is fabric. So what we can do, and she gave us the hoop, complete with some ribbon and a little floss tag. So what you can do is take that and you can add, let me see if I have all this stuff. She also gave us these, which are also printed on fabric. Butterflies. Flutterbys, as my kids used to call them, flutterbys. And birds. Oops. Yeah, that's right. And you can cut these out and stitch them onto this. And then put it in the hoop. Oops. And then put it in the hoop, centering however you want to center it. Oops, here we go. And you can add those birds and butterflies. Now my first thought was to hand applique them, which I would need, you know, a little bit of a turn under, which I could do. Some of them don't have a lot of room around them, but you know, like this bird, you could cut a good 1/8 inch all the way around it. And you're not going to use all of them. So if you have to cut into the next one to get your turn under seam allowance to do needle turn. But there's lots of other things that you could do with this. Oh, and she gave us the Lady Dot Vintage Rick Rack. She gave us stickers. But here's some options on how, you know, you could do just birds, just butterflies, you could do a combination. And then, let's see if I can find everything. She shows various ways to stitch them on. Just hand stitching them. You can see that one. It's just hand stitched. I was sitting next to Michelle Rudy, Farm Girl, and I was like, this is so creative. I mean, this is like over the top creative. Just unique, wonderful. And then you can take this piece and you can cut it out and glue this to the back of the hoop so that the whole thing is finished. I think this is so cool and such a unique finish. So anyway, and then she gives us some black thread to stitch our little bees and butterflies on. I was like blown away because I thought it was all so creative. I'm gonna take a little bit of time to put these things back in the bags, because if I don't, I won't know what Lady Dot trim went with what project. I'm already a little like, I hope I have this right. Because when you're at a retreat and you're getting one project and it has extra stuff, and then you get another project and it has extra stuff, and then pretty soon you've got multiple extra stuff. In fact, funny story. So I got home and I think it was Tuesday. You know, Monday was kind of like a jet lag, don't do anything day. Tuesday I quilted, Wednesday I quilted, Thursday I quilted. Tried to catch up on some of these quilts. And I got more, so I won't even talk about that. It is what it is. I'm going to another retreat, so I need, you know, earn my money. Anyway, so I'm going through all my stuff, and I'll show you in a minute my, I think I shook the table. I'm sorry. I'm going through all my stuff, and I get to my Blackbird, and you won't believe the Blackbird stuff. It's crazy. So I had a whole bunch of extra Blackbird stuff, like duplicates. Well, I was sitting next to Michelle. On the other side of me was nothing. That was the end of the table. I sat next to the door because I'm old. I might have to go to the bathroom. So anyway, I'm only sitting next to Michelle. So I messaged Michelle and I'm like, did I accidentally pick up your Blackbird extra charts? She texted back, she said, no, I have all of that. I'm like, that's weird, because nobody else was sitting next to me. Now, on the other side of Michelle was Lisa, also known as Kindred Stitcher, and then Lori, also known as Textilist. So I thought, well, I'll just announce on my video if anybody's missing any of the kits from Blackbird, please contact me. So I started looking a little closer, and a lot of people had Alma autograph their charts. And it says, to Lisa. I'm like, oh, somehow I have Lisa's stuff. Now, how? When there was somebody sitting in between us, I have no idea. But obviously, I'm a kleptomaniac. Who knew? I didn't know. So Brenda and Laura say, buy all the Blackbird. Obviously, I say, steal all the Blackbird. I felt so bad. And she said, do you just have the extra charts, or do you have my kit too? And I said, oh yeah, I stole all of it. Now, I'm going to be seeing Lisa at the Amana retreat, the Midwest retreat. So I said, do you want me to mail it or bring it? She said, just bring it. So who knew? Who knew? So the next wonderful designer, so that was Liz Matthews first, was Linda Lachenschlager. Chessie and me. And this was our wonderful kit from her. It's that needle roll, it's the scissor fob, and it's this small piece that you mount on wool, and you mount it on this box. Now, I really distressed mine. I have a couple more of these boxes, so the house ones, so I may have to redo mine. I got a little crazy with it, you know. Here. What we did, we painted this light brown first. Then we used one of those small little, oh, what's the name of those? Those little candles. They come in a little metal thing. We use them at Kristen's time all the time for luminarias. Anyway, take it out of the metal, use the wax. Use the wax on it. Then you paint it black, and every place that you use the wax comes through. It's like a wax resistance. Well, I got crazy with my wax here. So I might redo a little bit of this, I don't know. Just paint the inside black. I wasn't gonna paint. And I thought about how's this gonna travel? Because I didn't want it to end up getting black on my clothes and in my suitcase. So then I thought, oh, everybody's painting, I might as well, it'll dry. Because this was Friday afternoon, so I thought, well, it'll dry. Now, this will be right here, will be where the piece goes. So from the front, it doesn't look too bad, but it's called wax resistance. And I couldn't resist being a little overzealous. So anyway, that piece, when you stitch it, gets mounted on the wool and then on to the roof of the house. I say roof, I used to say roof. So then she gave us this wonderful floss card and an extra skein, because there's a little, let's see if I can show you. You use the to make a corded piece to go from your scissors. And this is a picture. Let's see if I can show you all these. This is a picture of the inside of the needle book. So we got the wool, we got all of those goodies. We got this kitty cat, and Chessie was her cat, if you're wondering. So we got that floss thingy wingy. Obviously we got the pattern. We got 2 pieces of wool. This is for the inside of the needle book, and this is for the top of the roof. We got some silk tape, which is used for the ties on. So it was fabulous. Plus we got the house, all of those goodies. This had our needle in it, a little piece of wool. And this one I actually, hold on to your seats. I actually started stitching. I don't usually stitch on the project. Sometimes I do. But the fallacy of that is then you get home and you kind of, not forget, but you put it off. Or if you at least get it started when you're at the retreat. And it came in one of these great Ziploc bags. So that was designer number 2, the second half of Friday. Okay? Okay. Friday night, because my birthday was coming up and everybody kept saying happy birthday, and I said, don't rush it. It's not till Sunday. More to come about that. Anyway, some lovely ladies from Kansas City took me out to dinner that live around Kansas City. Most of them do, not all of them. It was Kay Dunlap. It was Roberta Lyle. It was Christine, Hollis Hands Creates. She also has a floss tube. It was Becky, Socks for Mom, and Jean Lee. And we all went to dinner together, the 6 of us. It was so nice. I sat by Jean and we got to talk about her career as a court reporter, some cool stories. It was just so relaxing and so wonderful. And they bought my dinner. So thank you, thank you, thank you to those 5 ladies when we went out to dinner. It was just fabulous. Every night I came back to the hotel and I couldn't even sleep. I was like so retreat high. It was so fun. I kept telling my kids when I got home, I had so much fun. They're like, if she says that one more time, we're gonna shoot her, even if it is her birthday. Okay, Saturday morning, last day of the retreat. I didn't want it to end. That's how it is with most retreats. So it was Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery. And there again, this pattern has been shown by multiple people. I didn't post anything at the retreat. I don't take great pictures. I really don't. I don't know what my deal is, but I just don't take great pictures. So this was our project. Flowers for Bees. There's 3 little pin cushions in here, but we can also stitch it as one piece, which I think I would like to do. I just think that's so cute. For the bees, the flower is the fountain of life. For flowers, the bee is the song of love. I just love that. Then she gave us some wildflower seeds with this little plant stick and what do you call these? Anyway, her son punched all of that. Her kids helped her put her kits together. We got the linen. And let's see. This was our packet that came with it. I haven't even opened this yet. But these are 3 fabrics in here that we could use to back our pin if we decide to do it in one. Now, if we decide to do it in 3 parts. Now, if I decide to do it in one piece, I'm gonna sew these 3 together. So it'll kind of be striped on the back, but I'll still get the full effect of using the fabric. And then she gave us the Lady Dot. I'm not sure what this is. It's like a raggedy trim. You can see it. I'm sure it's not called raggedy trim, but you can see it on the edge there. And of course, she told us a story all about, the piece and where she got the quote and all of that good stuff. So that was fabulous. We got the linen. I love the floss drop that she made. It's just very, very cute. And she mentioned that she was told by, this one goes with this other piece here. She was told by Rita to just be creative and do her, whatever, her own thing. She had no instructions other than dream up a project that just represents you. Since she's a beekeeper, and then we got a pair of bee scissors. So all of that was just so fun. And of course it was wrapped in, I always save these tissues. Whether I get it from a store, I just love to save these tissues and reuse them. So then that was Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, our last designer was Alma. It was just so good to see her and just hear some wonderful stories about Barb. Alma's very funny and Barb was very funny, and they were almost like a comedy duo when the two of them were together. So she was telling the stories of what happened and what Barb said in certain situations, and it was just delightful. It was just delightful. I talked to her a little bit. I asked her how many grandkids she has now, because I know she moved to Denver to be around her daughter, who's also my daughter's age. She said she had 2 by her granddaughter, and then her son just had twins. So she now had, and he lives in, I think, New York, somewhere in the East. And so she now has 4 grandkids. And I asked her if they still have their house in Kansas City, and she said yes. So anyway, it was delightful. And these are the 2 patterns that we got. Fall Gathering with the squirrel. And then this one, the little goodie bag, ditty bag, whatever you want to call these. I don't know. Accoutrement bag. And then, of course, in Blackbird fashion, it was all tied up with a ribbon, little piece of greenery. She gave us this little petite alphabets. It unfolds, has all these wonderful alphabets. Just this little, if you were a junk journal, which by the way, I got to meet Calculated Stitcher, Jennifer, and her mother, and she came over and showed Michelle some of her junk journaling. I do not need another craft, but things like this would just fill so many places in those journals because it's so cool. Then we got the ribbon with, of course, a little piece of stitched piece that's been photographed, put around there. That's for the bag. We got some Lady Dot rickrack. And then, of course, in Blackbird fashion, we got the floss card. I'm pretty sure this is Wren by Picture This Plus. Let me see. Let me just read it. 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. And she even had some 32 count for people that would prefer 32 count, which I thought was just so accommodating, so gracious to offer that. And then a piece of fabric to go on the back of the 2 pieces, the bag and the pin thing, pin round. I got some of this Lady Dot green, and I don't know what kit that went in. I'm pretty sure it was in a kit. So I'm just not sure if it was, I don't think anybody gifted this. I think it was in a kit, but it could have been in our bag originally from Quilter Station. But it could be used on any of these. And then, to everyone's shock, And there were so many ooh-ahs. Alma starts handing out some out-of-print Blackbird charts for free. Now, the first one she handed out was this one. I don't have this one. This is 2002. I don't know why I don't have it. I don't. This was originally designed by Barb. And let's see if I can show you this without showing you the chart. Mary Atherton was there. Mary Atherton and Denise, who had worked for her, she used to own the old mill stitchery. I have not seen her in years. I was so excited to see her because when I used to go into the old mill stitchery in Liberty, Missouri, that was like a dream. As soon as I would walk in, I'd say, this is my favorite store. This is my happy place. So the fact that she had stitched this originally, Mary Atherton, I had her sign it. When I went up to her, I said, would you autograph this? She said, are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. So anyway, I was good to reconnect with some people that I knew, and I had, I used to go into her store. I used to buy a lot of stuff from Old Mill Stitchery. I used to call them. That's the store that I got all my original Loose Feathers kits from Blackbird. There was just a connection. And I sort of felt that way. Ooh, must be hot out. It's cold in here, but not cold enough. I just had a connection with a lot of people because I think at heart, even though I've lived in Jacksonville over 33 years, almost 34, there's just the Midwest girl in me. And so there were people that I had met at other retreats. There were people like Rita that I'd met her before. I even shopped at her old location when she had a smaller store. I remembered meeting Joy Hayward, the fabulous finisher that does a lot of Brenda's finishing. There were just a lot of people that were involved in the retreat or attended the retreat that I got to reconnect with. So that was exciting. Anyway, so then Alma hands out 2 more out of print charts. Loose Feathers out of print charts. This is Loose Feathers 21, called The Garden of Life. And this is Loose Feathers 19, Quaker Garden. Now, I've already stitched both of those. I haven't stitched the first one that I showed you, but I've already stitched both of those. But here's what my plan is. I have the charts. I have already stitched them. I am not going to give them away. They were a gift, and I'm not re-gifting. But I have people in both of my stitching groups that would love to borrow these. So I'm going to locally only, don't ask me, because I don't know who you are, and I appreciate you watching and all, making comments and all that, but if I don't know you, I'm not going to loan you a chart because you might turn around, put it on eBay and make $100 on it or whatever. But I am going to loan them out to friends locally so that they can enjoy stitching them. And both of those people have asked me if they could borrow. So now I don't have to loan out my original one, and I can loan out the gift and then get it back and still. So you just need to be in my will. Because someday all of that will be given away. Anyway, so that was kind of the end of the retreat. Another group of us went out Saturday night for dinner, and I think there were 8 of us all together. So it was just really fun. I got more than I deserved. A lot of people gave me birthday cards. A lot of people gave me gifts. I'm going to mention just a few of them. Oh, shoot. One of them I forgot. I will put it in the pictures. Shanda, Stitching in Idaho, was there, and she gave us this cute little, they're a pin cushion, and it kind of looks like well, you'll recognize it when you see it. Because I have a bigger one, which is over there somewhere. Anyway, she made some little pin cushions to give away. There were other people. Lisa Prims on Greenway gave this out. These are some of her floss tags. And then she gave one of those little safety pin cushion. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. Anyway, these are her little floss tags and this cute little paper clip. Golly, Carol. Words. I got this. I'm not sure who gave me these. If you gave me these, would you please let me know? There were things I would go and leave, you know, my seat for a minute and come back and there'd be just stuff sitting there. Someone graciously gave me a pair of Brighton earrings. And I know when she came over, and it was in a Von Mar box. If you gave me these, would you please send me a message? Either Facebook, leave a comment, because I want to thank you properly. And I looked she gave them to me Friday. I looked all day Saturday around at people, and I thought, who gave me these? And it was just, I'm sorry I can't recognize you by name, because that was a very generous gift. Lisa Prims on Greenway, she went around helping people make these little, to put in your pin cushion. I'm going to distress the little, and I'm going to distress this, and then I think I'm going to put black thread on it, because I think the black and red would be cool. Spool, that little spool. I was given some mini floss tags with a needle minder. There again, some people gave these, and this is by Lenny. I think she's Lenny Stitches. Yes, Lenny's Stitches. And she made all of these for everybody. She gave one to everybody, crocheted those. Is that not too cute? Little needle minder. It's adorable. And then all these are sticking together. This was from Judy Pennington. A little bling. This was from Ray Niles. Also a little bling. Christy Green gave these little bags full of goodies. There was lots of goodies in here from, this is Christy Green, Daisy Case Primitives. There's stickers, there's some little mini floss rings. Floss. There's a needle. Some of these bulb pins. Just a little bag of goodies. Anyway, Christy Green is Daisy Case Primitives. So I got those. I don't even want to put them away or do anything with them. I just want to keep them like this in these little cute bags. A lot of people were giving out their floss cards. I don't have mine yet. I think my husband ordered them. I have to ask him. This was from Kay Dunlap, that giant hair. Is that not beautiful? What a beautiful picture. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch was there, and she gave us these needle minders that say, you can't read it probably, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Christine Hollis Hands Creates gave us these project cards, and I think they're sticky. Either way, you can put them on the back of a finished project. And then I got a ton of cards, including some gift certificates to Quilter Station, gift certificates to Country Sampler. I just have a ton of cards that people gave me. Anyway, I got a card from my son. Told me what a wonderful mother I was. And then I got two very special cards when I got back. This is from my grandson Elijah. Happy birthday, Grammy. And this is from my granddaughter Camille. Now you notice, she draws a picture of her and she's real tiny, and she draws a picture of me. I'm real big. It's like, what are you trying to say to me, Camille? So those are some of the small little goodies I got. And I know there's more. It's hard to keep track. I got this also with a nice card. This was from Kathy Boyd and Chris Canaday. This, and the first thing they said when I went to thank them was, we didn't make that. It's this wonderful pouch. I think this is French General fabric. It has all these little pockets. Too nice. Oh, and candy. They gave me some caramel candy with that. When I got home, I got a bag from, oh wait, let me finish with retreat stuff. I got this from Julie Crusave. Now some of these things were because it was my birthday. Which, by the way, to be called up to the front of the room and have 100 women, yeah, they were all women. There weren't any guys there. Kyle, where were you? 100 women sing happy birthday. It's a little daunting. And when I got up to the front, Rita called me up to the front to the podium. She said, somebody's got a birthday, come up front. First of all, she gave me this bag. Now, there were giveaways. We had tickets, numbers, and there were tons of giveaways. Heartstring Samplery gave these away. So I was able to get one, even though they never called my number. I was able to get that as a gift from Rita, from Beth. Anyway, Julie Crusave gave me this wonderful project bag that has everything. It has the floss ring, it has the magnetic, and this was made by, I gotta make sure I give this person credit, Bella Rose Needleworks, handmade by Bella Rose Needleworks. It's hard to see, I know. So, I mean, this is like a complete set, everything you'd ever need for stitching. You have your little tiny needle book. You have this, and I love using these. I love using these because when I'm doing and some needles, when I'm doing a sampler, you know, if maybe I have a letter that's in blue, the next letter's red, then the next letter's gold. So if I have, you know, more than half of a strand, I will put it on this. Next time I have to use that color, I'll pick it up from there. Or I might just thread a bunch of needles and then I can put them on here too. So thank you, Julie. It was nice to get to meet you. So that was from Julie Crusave. She's the administrator of the Facebook group, Homespun Samplers and Needlework. They do a lot of special offerings. Wonderful Michelle Rudy gave me this one. Love it. That's 2 project bags I got. And then I got home and I had a gift from Deidre, I think it's pronounced Ron, with 3 project bags. People. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very fall. Absolutely love the fabric on the back of this. Looks like a Kim Deal fabric. Beautiful. I also had a chart. This is one of Ellen Chester with my needle. One of her new charts to go on a bobbin. And there's 3 different ways you can finish that. I have a lot of bobbins. I collected them when we lived in Kansas City. I have a whole basket full of bobbins. And then Tinka, Victorian Rose Needle Arts. was so kind. She sent me a card, and she included her wonderful teas that she includes, which are very good. I'm not a tea drinker, but sometimes at night, I like a nice cup of tea. She sent me a whole layer cake. This is Three Sisters. It's called Cranberries and Cream. It's reds, grays, taupes. Just beautiful. Thank you, Tinka. That was way over the top. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't visited Victorian Rose Needle Arts, which is an online shop that now has a brick and mortar, please go visit because she does wonderful. She has even some out-of-print things like Charlotte Clayton, and she's a wonderful shop. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Tinka. Victorian Rose Needle Arts. Okay, where are we? Oh, we're already in an hour. Now I'm going to show you some of the things I bought at the retreat. Now, Alma did not have charts to buy, but Linda, Liz Matthews, and Beth, Heartstring Samplery, Linda, Chessie, and me, all had charts that they had the models and that you could purchase. And when you see the models, it's a whole different thing because it's just not the same as the picture. It's just not the same. So let me show you a few things that I bought. Now, somebody made a comment that I talked about slowing down, and then I show you all my haul. And that is totally a justified comment. It's a disease. I have it. I don't think there's a cure for it. It's called hoarding, kidding, cross stitch, and fabric for quilts. So I have a lot of finished things, but I also have a lot of things that are waiting to be touched. That's just my life. Hopefully, I'm going to live to be however old that I can finish a good portion of these. So first of all, from Chessie and me, this is her newest. I guess I should take this out because this really is hard to see. Some of these were newer, some of them weren't. That I got. This is called Hannah Comfort. Red House. Love, love, love this. The model was fabulous. And like I said, I don't take great pictures. So forgive me when I show some of these pictures because they're not going to do them justice. I love this one with the 3 different fabrics. This one is called Chessie's Make Do Sampler. So you've got the tree, you've got a house. I love this kind of Bargello. I can't read what it. Hold please. Which, by the way, Pam and Steph were there. Hold please. Jean Lee was there. There were so many floss tubers there. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. It was craziness. Hold on, I want to see what this says. Happy is the home that shelters a friend. There's a lot of pages to this chart. So I'll have to dive into that. There again, Chessie's Make Do Sampler. And you know, Linda, some of us were talking about it. I don't think Linda's gets near the attention, praise. She has fabulous designs. And they're very kind of homespun, kind of prim. She does use specialty stitches, but she shows you in detail pictures. And they're not difficult. They're not like queen stitches. Although some people think those are easy. But anyway, she does, you know, some satin stitch, maybe some eyelets. But it really adds to her designs. And I think she deserves more attention. is what I'll say. I still was going to show you quilts. Oh, yeah. And then I got this one, Lulu's Flock. I just love all those sheep. I just think that is adorable. Never enough time. Then I got some heartstring samplery. A couple of these are, my daughter does not watch my videos, so that is not anything I have to worry about. I got this one, Perry Pryor with the reindeer. I really like that. Again, kind of fall or Christmassy type colors. There's the antique. Heartstring samplery, Perry Pryor. The next three I got are part of her Sunday stitches. My daughter plays the piano. She did not inherit that from me. At one time, she was a music major in college. And she switched to English because she said, some people hear notes in their head. She said, I hear words. I'm like, okay, do we need to take you for counseling or what? So she ended up majoring in English, and now she teaches. She's a librarian. She's since got her teaching certificate and all that, so don't panic. But anyway, on her piano, she has a framed, just, you know, just a picture kind of thing that has some of the words to Amazing Grace. So I thought this would be perfect, and I couldn't decide on one, so I bought three to stitch for her for Christmas. So this is Come Thy Fount. I love that song. These are all hymns. This is When I Survey. I'm not going to sing them for you, so don't get worried. And this is It Is Well With My Soul. This is probably the first one I'm going to stitch for her. I'd love to get it framed and do it for Christmas because I think it's fabulous. So those were from, there was one more, I thought, from Heartstring Samplery. Yes, this one. I guess I have lived under a rock. This is called Jesus, Mary, and a Lobster. Anyway, this is by Heartstring Samplery. The HF 1837 sampler. There's a lot of samplers that are really popular now with these like ring of flowers. They're really gorgeous. And this is the antique. I just think that's beautiful. I don't know where Jesus, Mary, and the Lobster came from, but I'm sure there's a lobster on here somewhere. I don't see it right away, but anyway. Heartstring Samplery, the HF 1837 sampler. I just think that's gorgeous. And I would love to stitch it on some like sand dune or Weeks Cocoa or something that's a little bit darker linen. Meadow Rue, maybe. Okay, then, now, I've never bought any Liz Matthews. Some of her things are a little bit more contemporary for me, which there's a market for all of it, so I'm not criticizing by any means. But when I saw these framed, I was blown away. They're just fabulous. This is her tree series. Now, I'm not going to make them into a tree, but these framed were just fabulous. So these are the days of Christmas. She has the 5 out. I think that's all she's done so far. So it's going to be a continuing series. And it's not like I'm going to get all 5 of them done before Christmas anyway. So, but anyway, I just think these are so cute. I do like the trees too. But there's something about this just really strikes me. So that's the first, which is a partridge in a pear tree. But to look at them, you don't say, oh yeah, these are the 12 days of Christmas. In fact, I had to sort of study it for a minute, and I said to somebody, are these the 12 days of Christmas? And they're like, yeah. I'm the bright one in the room. The one that's just so observant, you know, that's me. Second day of Christmas. 2 turtle doves. I mean, that is just so creative. And you could do it as the tree. I know some of these have been out for a while, so you've seen them, but third day of Christmas, 3 French hens. I would love to do all of these. I just think they're fabulous. And this is something that until you see the model, you're like, oh yeah, I like them. But you see the models and you're like, oh, these are gorgeous. The colors are just fabulous. 4 calling birds. And they're calling joy to the world. I just noticed all those notes are backstitch. Oh well. And then the 5th one, and I think this is the last one she had a sample of. 5 golden rings. Love them. So those I bought all at the retreat. And then Rita had some Maggie, oh, I forgot to tell you, Friday night. Some people were saying, Maggie Bononomy. Now, some people went to her shop in Lexington, Missouri, which is about an hour away. I've never been to her shop. Had I known they were going to go, I probably would have flown in a day early, but that's okay. Next time I'm in Kansas City or close to it, I will go. But they said Maggie's supposed to come to the retreat, just, you know, to visit, not to be a designer or anything like that, or teacher. So out of the goodness of her heart, Maggie Bononomy comes and gives a trunk show of a lot of her designs that are from her books. It was just unbelievable. She's an idol. I've taken a class from her and years ago, and I've done a few of her things. I did the video on wool applique, the Maggie way. I have a lot of her kits that I need to work on. I was blown away. And here she stands up, she's almost shy. Stands up and, well, I did this and I did this and I did that, you know, and so Rita had a couple kits and I bought this one. And it is done on a piece of, it's almost like a coarse linen. And it says, splint basket with flowers. This is, I think, leftover kits from a retreat because it says 2020. And of course, things didn't happen in 2020. So I'm very excited. I really want to get that going. So maybe I could finish that by next spring. Okay, then the next, I'm just going to show you a few more things. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do quilts. I'll insert some pictures at the end. I won't insert them. My husband will. So hopefully this will be up by tomorrow afternoon. This is one of Rita's patterns. Midnight at the Pumpkin Patch. I just love it. It's not quite as orange in person. It's more gold and deep kind of oranges. But even my picture I took at the store, it was hanging on the wall, does not give that justice. To me, it looks real bright orange, and it's not at all. I love this. And these are little 4-inch blocks. I guess we're talking about quilting now. These are little 4-inch blocks, and they have a special ruler you can get. And I said, I think I have a ruler at home that I can use, but if not, I'm going to have to order that ruler. I bought this at Quilter Station because I thought it was adorable. Just a little pouch. I love these kind of canvas pouches. They're great when you travel. Put your scissors, put all that good stuff in there, and it won't leach out into the rest of your suitcase. I did not buy a lot because I have a lot of fabric, but I have an idea what I'm going to use this for. It's just a black with a little gold something something. Rita had some, this is from the new Blackbird. Now, this is a reprint. I have a lot of the sampler fabric by Blackbird, but For some reason, I never bought that much of the black. I have a lot of the pink and the neutrals. I think I have a half or a fat half. I mean, a fat quarter of the black. So she had these on the counter. There were 5-yard pieces and 1-yard pieces. So I bought 2 1-yard pieces. I don't know what I'll use them for, but I just love the black. I said these pieces would just make a cool quilt. I also bought this piece of homespun in the gold. Wouldn't that make a cool quilt? Yes, Carol, it would. Why don't you make that? Then I bought 2 pieces. She had quite a bit of linen. This is baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. So I bought a fat half of that. It's a little darker, but it's a good neutral. Baked clay. And then she had some hog bristle, which I love hog bristle. So I bought, these are both 40 count, and I bought a fat half of both of those. That's the only cross-stitch linen that I bought. And then before I left, I got a couple things. This is part of the club kit from Scattered Seed. This one is called Mockingbird's Message Pin Keep. I think that's so cute. I think there's a sale going on, Feathered Friends Friday or Friday Feathered Friends. I don't usually do those sales because I don't keep up, and then I forget to post, and then, you know, life goes on, and then I'm like, oh, 2 weeks ago I should have posted this. Anyway, that would be a good candidate to do. And of course her packaging is just stupendous. Scattered Seed, Tammy Black. She has an Etsy store. I don't know if this one's out yet, but it may be. I got 2 Hands Across the Sea pieces. This is Hannah and Ellen Wilkinson. These are the, I think this is the, I want to say this is the one that the 2 sisters did. But it's called Hannah and Ellen Wilkinson. And then of course I had to get the Harriet Goddard because everybody's doing this one. It's very small. It's only like 4 inches wide, I think. And then I got the my mind just goes away. It's just like whoosh. These are the silks for it by Clayton. Anyway, it's under HDF, hand-dyed fibers by Vicki Clayton. Thank you. Hand-dyed fibers by Vicki Clayton, and she sells them kitted up already for the various different Hands Across the Sea and some other things too. So I got those. I don't know what linen I'll use. And then just yesterday, my husband says we need a receiving department. I get so many packages. Both of us have had retail backgrounds. So every time he ships out a box, I said, well, you need a shipping department. And he said, well, you need a receiving department. Let's combine them. Anyway, this is the Stacy Nash Club through Country Sampler. It comes with this beautiful pedestal. I think it's metal. Yeah, it's metal. Or it's some, I don't know what it is. But it's wonderfully distressed. And then there's 4 club pieces, and they all are the same type of thing that will fit. So this is a drum, and it's a pretty big drum. I was reading the instructions. It's like 6 inches high. And then the pin keep, needle keep, faded garden, pin keep drum, and needle keep. What my dad used to say, I got my tongue wrapped around my eye tooth. I couldn't see what I was saying. Anyway, it's hard to read because what I see in the camera is actually backwards. Faded garden, pin keep drum, and needle keep. Exclusive for country Country Sampler Girls Club. And it's a Stacy Nash club. I don't know if they're full or not, but you need to get this because there will be 4 and they will all fit on that wonderful, cute little thingy. Okay, I'm going to show you just a couple things that I want to start piecing. Work on piecing as far as, oh, here's the little Shanda piece. That's the pin keep we got from Shanda Stitching in Shanda Stitching in Idaho. She made these. Gave them out. How wonderful was that? Okay, the first thing, and I may get to work on this afternoon. I don't know. I put things in plastic bags. This is called Corn Maze. I showed you this before. This is a country sampler pattern. I have a couple blocks finished. I have everything sorted out, cut, ready to go. I just need to sit down and at the sewing machine and stitch, piece. So I have that. This is another one. This is Tammy Basket Nuts Fault. First of all, let me just say this. A lot of people have asked me about the quilt that was hanging on the wall in the last video. This is called, the book is called Hearthside Stars by Joe Morton. The pictures appear gold. I mean green. The pictures appear orange. And no matter how I try to take a picture of it, it is not orange. It's gold. It's definitely gold. So it's in this book, and it's called Starry Night. And I made it just in the same fabrics exactly. And it's in the book Hearthside Stars by Joe Morton. So Tammy and I were texting back and forth about that one. And she happened to show me this in a book that I already had called Yesterday's Charm, also by Joe Morton. She used to design for Andover. Now she designs for Moda, I believe. This is called Autumn Song. Now, just like this one, this star is fussy cut from black fabric with gold stars. Likewise, this one, the middle, is fussy cut. What do I mean by fussy cut? Well, you cut it out based on the print. So this one also has the fussy cut stars. And of course, because I've been collecting fabric since Noah built the ark, this is the fabric. And there again, it looks orange. It's not orange, it's gold. So in other words, you would cut your square for the middle of that. And obviously the rulers are clear, so it's real easy to center that star. So that's the center. And then as I'm looking closer at the picture, of course, I have the border fabric. These are all Joe Morton fabrics. And then that's what I bought the black at at Quilter Station. So I have this. This is like kitting cross stitch for those of you who are not quilters. It's the same deal. So I have fabrics pulled, and it's a very autumn, although Joe Morton these are her favorite colors: browns, oranges, golds. So for Joe Morton, this could have come out in the spring, but these are all Joe Morton fabrics. If you see white on this, it's because that's the selvage. And then I have blacks that I'm going to use. And then this. So let me show you the picture again. So this will be those outside triangles. Then there's black, and then those golds and neutrals will go around the stars. So it's basically a square and a square and setting. That's in yesterday's charm. You can see a little bit better picture of the quilt here. There may be a little green that I need to add to that. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I pulled all those fabrics because I have them. And then, since I am part crazy, Tammy Basket Nut has done this one. And I think Homespun Prims by Lori has done this one too. And this is in an old book called Miss Jump's Quilt Album by Linda Brannick. She has since passed away, but Linda Brannick used to design patterns with Rita Briner, the owner of Quilter Station. All this Kansas City connection. Jan Paddock, who also lives close to Kansas City and designs for Moda, her and Linda Brannick used to design fabric. So you had Brannick and Paddock, you had Brannick and Briner. There were a lot of connections. But I've loved this for a long time when you see it made up in somebody's wall. So I'm starting to pull for this. Some of the fabrics I actually have. I'm still looking to see if I have this stripe. I have a stripe, and it looks really familiar, but I have to dig a little harder for that one. That is all. Oh wait, I'll show you a couple. I'm gonna have my husband insert some quilt pictures, but I have a couple of small. Oh yeah. I also finished this quilt. I need to quilt it, obviously. This is, oh my gosh, it shows up so much bright. It's not this bright at all. It's just strips. One of the gals that worked at the old green cupboard that I worked at here in Jacksonville, she designed this pattern. It's just strips, and I just used up a lot of fall scraps. And I just need to quilt it and bind it. So it's just strips and strips and strips and strips and strips. But it's a good way to use up scraps. I don't think she ever published it. Itchy nose. But you have long strips and then you have short strips. So this is the block here. I think it ends up to be about 72 by 72, something like that. And then I have a couple of small quilts I thought I'd show you. I'm not sure what this pattern was. I think it was by Sherry Payne. I'm not sure. Can you see it? It'll be pictured. I'll have him take a picture of that. This is another one that I did. This was, I think this is a Carol Hopkins pattern. It's not very big. I love these minis. I love piecing those little minis. I would actually rather piece small than big. When you get too many big pieces, then you're dealing with the grain issues because the lengthwise grain stretches less than the crosswise grain. And if you have a crosswise next to a lengthwise, sometimes your pieces can be cut right, but as you sew them on the machine, they can kind of stretch and then they don't match. Anyway, this is another one. This was a Temecula, I think, quilt company, I think. But another one that I get out for fall. That blue is not near that bright. This might have been a Kim Deal kit. I think it was a Kim Deal, not Temecula. And this is another Kim Deal kit that I made. These are not as bright as they look. Okay, that's all I have. You thought I would have tired of talking. I just had a great time at the retreat, and I want to thank everybody that came up and wished me happy birthday, commented about my videos. Everybody was just so nice. And it was a pleasure meeting everybody. I tried to get people's names and where they're from, but I'm 70 now. I don't remember like I used to. I never have been very good with names, but you know, until you actually get somebody's face and their name associated, people can play tricks on you even. I was trying, when one of the times we were out for dinner and I was like, does anybody know this one girl's name? She's really pretty. Well, the girl that was sitting next to me, she's Wisco girl, Wisconsin Stitcher, Wisco girl. Her name is Linda Austin. I didn't know her last name. So she says, I think that's Linda Austin. Well, she was tricking me into saying it was her that was the pretty lady. I was like, you guys, teasing me. Anyway, I hope you all have a good rest of the weekend, and I will be back hopefully in 2 weeks. And so happy stitching. Love ya. Bye.